Hi guys, Michelle here. Today we're going to talk about entering items at kind of a um, more advanced items or more complex items. So I'm opening item entry, which is under the home page under inventory. There's items. And when I say more advanced items, I'm talking about stuff that comes from like a Rat and HB Davis that it's a chemical, it comes in a case. For like a Rat and HB Davis, maybe there's discounts and stuff. Generally, that doesn't matter from item entry, but there, it's a 6 case. The description is so long it doesn't fit in here. That kind of stuff. So let's go. I've got a few here that I want to show you how I would do. So I'm entering from the Rat website because I know that this is a new order that Rick has placed, and 3 of these things are not in the system. So I wanted to show you what it would be like to enter from this point. So I'm going to do auto assign, and then I know that these are ortho products, so I'm just going to find an ortho something to copy from. Actually, the first one is dual act rose and flower. I think it's a bio advanced one, so I'm going to copy from that one. And then this is the description that they give us. But I want to, this is why I tell you, sometimes I like to enter the items when I physically have that product in front of me. Sometimes it's easy to do, sometimes it's not, but I'm going to search this item because a Rat will actually show me pictures. HB Davis doesn't give me that option. So a Rat, I can often enter this stuff in advance because I have everything that I need right here in front of me from the Rat website. HB Davis does not give you any of that kind of info. So it's bio advanced, dual action rose, blah, blah, blah. So if you remember before I clicked into here, it abbreviated everything. So this is my full description. Bio advanced, dual action rose and flower. So there's 3 things. I'll just back this up. Let me copy this guy and see how much of this fits. So as you guys know, we always do the capitals. So bio advanced, dual action rose and flower insect killer. So I'm going to start with rose and flower insect killer. And then when we're entering chemicals, there's 3 things you have to have in there. Generally, it's nice to have the company, what it is, what's it for, and the size. So if this was a 15 ounce ready to use, I want to put 15 ounce and I want RTU in there. If this was a 32 ounce concentrate, you want CONC 32 ounce in the description. That's kind of how been my standard rules for following item setup. So we know that I have to have room for that. So this is a 15 ounce. So right there, I'm out of space. I just hit OZ. You guys can't see that, but I'm out of space. So automatically, I'm going to take out the ER and put my OZ in because I know that's something I have to have in this description. So rose and flower insect killer. And I can't tell if this is like an aerosol. I'm actually going to click on this and see if I can get this bigger. So it is. It's an aerosol can. So dual action rose, flower, blah, blah. So I would actually, if I had the product in front of me, I would be looking at all this. So it's rose and flower, insect killer, and it's an aerosol. To me, aerosol is kind of an important part of that. So I'm going to start taking stuff out so I can fit that in. Rose, flower, insect killer, and then I'm going to put AREO. So that doesn't fit. So take out more. This treats spaces as I can't tell you how many characters in here, but it doesn't like spaces. So if I actually combine rose and flower, somehow I get extra characters back. So arrow, and that should work. Let's see if I can get Okay, so arrow is what I get. And that's fine by me. Rose flower, insect kill, aerosol. That's more or less how I'm going to leave this. So there's my description. Price. Again, usually when we're entering this stuff, you're following their suggested retail. So I'm going to put in $7.99. Their last cost. The cost is coming from when we bought this. So this is actually the net each price. So I'm going to put in 5.208. Chemical. This is a BioAdvanced product. BioAdvanced is in here, so I'm going to pick it. And then it's a store product, so we're going to leave that alone. The UPC is right here, so I'm going to copy that. Coming from Arette, which is true. And then this here is the item number. So copy this guy here and put this in. So that is more or less top level. That's the item entry. The other thing that I can do from here is fix the description. If you guys remember from the other videos, I copied from something to start with. And this is where I want you to pay attention, that you have to come in here and change this, because now the long description is still from the item that I copied. So I'm actually going to come in here and we'll stick this in here, and we're going to more or less put back in all the stuff that I took out. Flower, insect killer, aerosol, and I'm going to put BioAdvanced in here as well. So it actually doesn't, I just ran out of characters. It's not going to let me put it in there. So I'm actually going to leave it like that. So hopefully if you were searching BioAdvanced, you would stop searching BioAdvanced before you got to the ED. But now that's appropriate, and now I'm going to hit save. So I'm not actually done editing that order, that item. I need to go back in here and find that guy. So now if I type in Rose, the last item in here, I'm going to sort descending. Descending so I can find it. That's the last item I entered. So even though I spelled RSE, because I put that long description in here, Rose will find that item. That's why it's important. Okay, so I pulled the item back up. If you notice, I said that you couldn't change the last cost. Even if I unlock stuff, I can't change that. So that's, again, a reminder why make sure you've got that right, or leave it alone. It doesn't really matter, but that's why. So the other thing that you guys need to do as part of item setup is how I'm going to receive it. It's important. So the pack quantity this comes in a case of 12. So under units, you're going to go in here, and again, this is from the copy from, it already has a 6 case in here. It doesn't sell as a 6 case, so I don't want that info, but I'm going to update it to 12 case. If you could buy this in a 12 case and a 24 case and something else, you would do 12 here, you would do 24 here, and you would do like a pallet here. So that's what all these alternates are for, is how multiple different ways that you can receive it. So I'm going to do 12 case. Then what I want to do is, there's these buttons down here called vendor items. I want to click vendor item, and nothing populates right here, but if I hit the tab over, I get the Arette. So this is where it's important when I'm receiving stuff. If there's multiple vendors, I would be able to tab back through to Arette, HB Davis, wherever it is that we bought them from, and see the different prices and info for each vendor. So here's the vendor item that I put in. Here's the vendor description, their list price. If I click to purchasing, I don't buy this as a 12 or as an each. This is where you want to put in that you buy this as a 12 case and the unit cost of the 12 case. So if I bought a 12 case, my price, this is, again, we're dealing with discounts here, but the standard price is $67.20. So $67.20 is what I would pay if I bought a 12 case. And that's what's important that we have to fix. So when I go to receive this, I can click receive one 12 case, and the price will automatically come up at $67.20 instead of the whatever that we bought, $5.20. So that's why this is important. So it just makes my job easier when we're purchasing and receiving. So then I'm going to hit save here, and then I'm going to back out. So now when I go to add this on a PO, I'll have the option to receive it as an each at $5.20 or as a 12 case at the whatever we just stuck on there, $67.20. So more or less this item is now completely entered. I can hit save, and that's the complete item entry from start to finish, including how you receive it, the vendor item info, and all that kind of stuff. Above and beyond that, there's not much more that I do, but that's the total item entry. But that's why all of that stuff, the extra description, the vendor units, all of that's copying over when you do a copy from. So it's why you want to be sure if you're doing a copy from that you look in all those places to make sure that you've put the correct item in for the one that you're actually creating. So let's do another one just so you guys can kind of see how that works. Let me back out of here, go back to my list. Okay. So the next one is this. I'm assuming it's an insect disease and miticide control ready to use. I'm not even sure from that short description. So I'm gonna copy the barcode, hit this into the search here, and we'll go in and take a look. Natria, rose and flower, insect disease, and mite control. So go back into our items. I'm gonna do auto assign. We'll copy from the last guy that I did. Why not, right? Okay, so our description is Natria. So it's kind of like a 3-in-1. So let's do insect, disease, mite control, 24 ounce. And it doesn't say it in the description, but it is a ready to spray or ready to use. So I'm gonna take out the vowels, RTU. So nature, rose, flower, insect, blah, 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 blah. So I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna fit this other stuff in here. So I'm hitting the space button right there, and I'm at my max characters right now. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Again, I'm gonna do the copy into my description. Again, this is a reminder why you gotta make sure you update this. The brand is Natria. And then we're gonna do rose and flower. Insect, disease, miticide, and that was a 24 ounce. Insect, disease, mite control. Let's see if I can fit that mite control. So I'm out of characters, so I'm okay with leaving it like that. And because the ready to use is up in here, I'm not worried that it's not down in here. Okay, so we'll go back to the main stuff here. Suggested retail $7.99, so that's staying the same. Last cost is it's the same price, $5.20. Oh wait, chemical. It's not BioAdvance, it's Natria, which we don't buy a lot of, we don't sell a lot of, so it's not listed in here. And there's not a miscellaneous. So I potentially could just add and then put miscellaneous in here. I'm going to leave it blank. I'm going to just subcategory out and leave it blank. The store account code is correct. Barcode. This guy, it's still a ret. And then This is my item number. We'll stick that in there. My units. Let's see. Case. Pack quantity. It comes in 8. So under units, we're going to do 8 case. And in order for me to get to the vendor item button, it does have to save once. So I'm going to hit save. Look this back up. And then we'll go into vendor items. We'll tab over, go to purchasing, 8 case, and then tab through to the unit cost. So my 8 case costs us $41.66. And then we'll hit save. So now when I receive that, it's all in there correctly. And that's it for that one. I'll show you the one more here. So this neem oil concentrate. I don't know that if that's actually in here or not. So we'll look it up. Neem this way. Neem oil concentrate. There is a 16 ounce, but this one is a 24 ounce. Yes, 24 ounce. So we don't have that in, so we're going to add it in. So we're going to do auto assign, but this is kind of the nice part with that neem is already in there. So I'm going to copy from that neem because all that other info is just right there. So neem oil concentrate, and the only thing I'm changing on this one is the 24 ounce. And then my price, so I'll just do it from here. Suggested retail is $22.99. Last cost, $14,489.4. Chemicals, it's still Bonide. It's still store. And then put my item number in there. Stocking unit, still that. Let's check our description. So again, it's Bonide neem oil concentrate, 24 ounce. This one technically it doesn't need to be in here, but we did add Bonide in here. Under units, it comes, this is actually an 8 case. So we'll switch that to 8, hit save. And then we got to pull it back up to add the purchasing info. So now we'll go into vendor items, tab over, purchasing was an 8 case, and it's $124.64. $124.64. And then that one's done. So that is how you do item entry for kind of the more complicated stuff. That's kind of the hardest it gets as far as making sure everything's there. The only other thing that I could show you would be that if we somehow, let's say that item was in there, but now I'm buying it from HB Davis, I would go back into here because the product is packaged by Bonide, so it's still coming in an 8 case. But let's say I wanted to buy this from HB Davis. Actually, I don't know if you guys were paying attention, but I copied this from something else, and it wasn't from HB Davis. It was from Arette. So I'm actually going to cut this out. I'm going to put my Arette back in here and paste that back in. Now I'm going to hit save because it saved HB Davis in there under the vendor items. So if I tab over, there's Arette and there's HB Davis. And this technically didn't come from HB Davis. It came from Arette. And because I updated this, it saved a copy of HB Davis in there. And we don't need that because we don't actually have the info. So this guy here, the one from HB Davis, I'm going to delete this guy out because he's not actually a vendor yet. And I want to make sure it didn't save it because it did it for HB Davis because I wasn't paying attention. So that's the reason why we double check everything. So I'm going to put my 8 case back in here and then $124.64 and then hit save. Now it should be good. So there's a rat 8 case 124. So what I was trying to show you there, because that's actually good to show you because that stuff happens too. But if I wanted to add, let's say we bought the same exact product, but it's now coming from HB Davis, all of this would stay the same as far as, you know, what we're selling it for and all that stuff. But you would come in here and hit the add button, and now you would add in HB Davis. You would add in, it comes in an 8 case from them, and then you would add in what HB Davis's 8 case price is. Maybe theirs is 120. And then you would hit save, and then you would be able to toggle back and forth between the two. Under the vendor info, you would put in HB Davis's vendor item number, which probably is, they usually just take out the space, so it would be, you know, B08 whatever. But you would put their number in there, and then you would hit save. So I just wanted to show you that so you guys can see kind of the difference in that. But we're all set with that. So I'm glad that kind of happened because I got to show you something else. But that's it for entering the items, kind of complicated with cases and stuff like that.